throughout my real estate career, it's been this effort of me developing a brand and bringing investors and team and like being the visionary and trying to drive forward. And it took a lot for me to learn how to run businesses and lead teams and build brands and create a product that solves a problem and attract the right people into it. It took a lot of trial and error, most error. Like most things I've started up until the last couple of years have been failures. And now like with what we're building with Freewyld, we see the momentum, we see the impact, and I can expand that out over the next 20, 30 years and can see like, oh, this is where we're heading. This is where like we have a real business now. So yeah, like my real estate career started in house flipping. I bought a couple of vacation rentals before Airbnb was a thing. Then I got into partner with some guys out of Hoboken, New Jersey, and we started buying flips all throughout the state of New Jersey that moved into apartment buildings. And I thought the dream was to own apartment buildings. And because if you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's how he made his millions and like, all of that. But then the buildings that we were buying were in essentially the ghettos of New Jersey. They're just in really rough areas. We started renting it out Section 8. And like we would go in here with the pride of like, hey, we're buying this old building and we're cleaning it up and we're renting it to locals and supporting individuals. And that just led to one issue after another, to where, one building that we bought was turned into a crack house within 2 weeks of us renting it out. And another house got burnt down within a month of us renting it out. And I'm like, I want to do the complete opposite of this. Yeah, I want luxury. I want beautiful properties and I want to get out of here. I want to be on the beach somewhere. And long story short, I was invited to a mastermind in San Diego, flew out here, met a real estate investor. And this is right as Airbnb started becoming a thing. Right. And he's like, oh yeah, I converted all my apartments into Airbnbs and we're crushing it. We're doing like 2-3x market rate rents. Wow. So that turned into me. Then I'm like, all right, screw it. Moving to San Diego, moved into Entrepreneur House, and I started renting out all the vacancies around town. So partnering with real estate investors, and I would rent all their vacancies, get their approval to stage it, and then re-rent it back out on Airbnb. It's called arbitrage. It's popular now. Back then, there was only a handful of people doing it. And that just blew up. And we started making money for the first time ever. And cash flow started coming in. And then I saw the writing on the wall that arbitrage is a model that is very, it only really works in markets that are growing. And luckily, right before COVID, we switched to a property management model and that consulting model where we started helping companies grow. So I've had my hands in all different types of areas of short-term rentals, from us running property management companies and arbitrage to helping over 1,000 companies start and scale their short-term rental businesses. And through that, I fell in love with three main things. One is going back to my roots of owning the real estate, because everything up until Freewyld, I was either leasing or managing other people's properties. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, hey, I want to go back to my roots and start buying real estate and developing a legacy business here. Two is I love design forward properties, right? And I wanted to create something that I didn't see the industry having. And then three, I wanted to develop a brand that people can really connect with. There's a whole story of how I came across all that. But I drew during COVID, I drew a line in the sand and I shut down our educational company. I stopped managing other people's properties. I went all in on this concept of Freewyld, and we started building it, found the investors, found the property, launched the brand, and it's been unbelievable. It's been amazing. Wow. So yeah, super pumped about it.
Yeah. There's one thing you said there. When you moved to San Diego, you said you moved into an entrepreneur house. What was that?
Yeah, it's actually still going. People can check it out. I think it's on Instagram. It's called the Epic Entrepreneur House in San Diego. So the whole concept, and it's kind of crazy that it's still going. It's going on like 10 years now. But the whole concept was my friend Chandler Bolt and Austin Netzley, entrepreneurs. They have awesome businesses. The idea was like, how do we bring together startup entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that are doing six figures or more, and bring everybody together in one place? We all live together. We work on our businesses and support each other in our businesses. We leverage our network to grow our networks, and then we pool all of our resources together. So like we rented this 6-bedroom house in San Diego. It was like just a spec house, essentially huge property. Everyone had their own bedroom, but then we all pulled our money together and we got a full-time chef and a full-time house assistant. And then we would host masterminds and all of that. So it was pretty incredible, man. Essentially living in a mastermind for 4 years. And, we've had so many people go through that. The founder of Dr. Squatch, my good friend Jack, was there. Nice. Massive company. He moved in when he was just doing a couple of million a year, to other companies that are like med tech companies and real estate companies. And so it's pretty cool to like live part of that. And that was like my MBA in entrepreneurship, was living in that house.
Yeah. That's funny. I bought a house last year from a guy who's one of the biggest suppliers of soap to Dr. Squash.
Nice.
Here in Indiana. Yeah. They're expanding, actually.
Okay. Yeah, that's where they're from. Yeah, that's awesome.
Funny.
Yeah, so Jack is a good friend of mine that I met at the Entrepreneur House. And that was the whole idea of like, how do you bring highly intelligent and ambitious entrepreneurs together and cut out all the noise? And it was pretty incredible. It shaped me into the entrepreneur and business owner I am now.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, they say you're the combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So
exactly,
if you want to level up and, be around people who have similar goals, what a great concept. I assume you weren't married at the time though.
No, everyone was in their early 20s. The house is still going, actually. No one is married there. I mean, some girlfriends and boyfriends are living in the house and all that stuff, but every year it turns into like its own thing, right? So right now it's more, they're entrepreneurs, but they're also more lifestyle and health focused, where when I was living there with Jack, Austin, Bolt, Shiv, like these are very, very ambitious entrepreneurs that were all in their 20s. We had no restrictions, so we're all in on our businesses. And it was incredible. So, and ever since I left that house, I've been trying to figure out how to develop that community again. So we're doing some stuff up here for the married entrepreneurs, the people that can't fully commit to that, but want a community of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. It's a tough thing to replicate, I'm sure. So you mentioned that you went all in on Freewyld. You kind of cut the ties and burned your boats on all the other income streams and potential things that you could work on. That's pretty interesting. Like a lot of people would be very reticent to do that. It'd be pretty scary, I think. How long did it take you once you made that decision to start seeing traction with Freewyld?
Yeah, no, great question. So this was during COVID, and a big part of our business was also doing live events and in-person masterminds and stuff like that. Our other company is called Overnight Success, and that was our educational company where we're helping short-term rental companies grow brands and build systems and teams and all that. So COVID hit and travel industry stopped, and then live events stopped. And we were kind of in a spot again where we had a lot of money out on the street, and we were upside down on leases. We were upside down on event centers that we were renting, all of that. And kind of like same thing when the 2008 market crashed and I was upside down and I had to, it's shot, everyone went through it. COVID was just so shocking for everybody. So I started asking the question of like, if the world can stop at any time, like if things are out of my control, like we have no idea what's coming next. Like what's the thing that I'm truly passionate about that I would want to work on? And I remember we were going through, I was just miserable, man. I was like 50 pounds, overweight. I was depressed. I was drinking, eating like crap, just not happy. But I was making a ton of money. And my partner asked me, he's like, hey, how much money do you need to make for you to enjoy this? And he just started going down the number. He's like 5 million, 10 million, 15 million. And I just remember as he was going through this, I was just like, I don't care how much money we make. I don't want to do this. Right. Like there was no excitement behind what I was doing.
The overnight success
right.
work. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause it's, doing the educational side, doing events, like, the coaching side is amazing, but to scale it as a company, it just wasn't really what I wanted to do. I always wanted to own real estate. I always wanted to cultivate beautiful properties around the world. So, I drew the line in the sand and I stepped down as CEO from that company. And we decided to stop growing that. And I went on a road trip to try to figure out what I wanted to build next. Luckily, we had some reoccurring money coming in, not a lot, but enough to sustain my life. There was no extras, but it gave me 6 months to almost a year to work on this passion project, which turned into Freewyld. So it was pretty incredible. I left a lot of opportunity to dive into this, and we found the perfect property in Idlewild, California, the perfect investor who just wanted to support the vision of what we were building. We bought it, renovated these properties, we launched it, and it just immediately did better than anything we expected. But then that turned into another challenge, right? Because as you know, buying real estate takes a long time. It takes a long time for you to cash flow those businesses and all of that. Part of our property up there is we're building more cabins, right? So we focus on buying cabin communities, renovating what's there, building out our Freewyld cabins on there. And then we learned that, like, hey, it's going to take us a long time to get to cash flow for us to build a team and hit the levels that we want to hit. So we either have to go raise money from VCs and investors, which I just didn't want to enter into that, or we have to figure out how to cash flow. So we took our skill set and we focused on developing a service side of Freewyld for the Airbnb industry. So we developed out what's called Freewyld Foundry. I know I'm telling a lot here, so stop me if you want to go into detail.
That's really interesting.
So we recognize for me to grow what I wanted to build with Freewyld, we need cash flow. And to develop cash flow, we started asking ourselves, what's one thing that we can do better than anybody in the industry? And we've recognized, like, even though we built this incredible brand and design and all this other fundraising, the revenue management side was a big blue ocean for us. We developed a strategy that helped us price our properties and outperform our market by over 100%. So then we rolled that out to a couple of clients and started getting incredible results. And now we're scaling that side of the business. So we're managing over 60 million in revenue, about 1,700 Airbnb listings worldwide. And that part of the business is now funding the real estate side, right? So that's the traction that we have. And it took us about 2 years from when we bought the property to where we're at now with our current property and Freewyld Foundry to be in the position that we're in. So it moved pretty quick. It moved pretty quick.
Yeah. Wow. So can you explain that to me again? I feel like Michael Scott here. Maybe explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
But so that you created the first Freewyld site that was, how many cabins was it?
So active right now, there's 4 cabins, and we're in the process of building, trying to get approvals right now for 10 to 12 additional cabins.
Okay. Got it. Okay. And then you decided to take, is it essentially management of other cabins that have a similar feel, or what did that look like?
So stepping back a bit, like my vision for Freewyld is to expand this model globally, right? We want to buy these old cabin communities in nature locations that are 2-hour drives from big metro areas, right?
Okay.
And the whole concept is that we're bringing together people into a Freewyld community, cabin community. All of our properties are unique and different and design forward properties. I'm obsessed with detail and design. And then the main part of our business is helping guests when they travel to our properties disconnect from technology. So we have a way that we help them lock their phones away and be present in the moment.
Nice.
So I have a grand vision on scaling that. But for me to accomplish the goal that I want to do on the real estate side, I need quite a bit. I need a powerful team in place to help us with that. And we need some capital to start buying these properties, right? So again, we were looking at, do we raise money or do we figure out how to self-fund this vision? And Freewyld, the real estate business, is a generational company. I have a 20, 30-year horizon on this, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why we decided not to go VC and decided to fund it ourselves. Smart. So we launched what we call Freewyld Foundry, which is our service side of Freewyld, right? And essentially what we did is we built out a team of revenue managers, and we work with the top 1% Airbnb companies around the world, and we price all of their properties. So for example, most of our clients have anywhere between 10 and 300 listings. Okay. We'll go in, we bring our revenue management team in there, and we'll price all of those properties to maximize revenue. And most clients that we work with, we're raising revenue by 10 to 20%, 10 to 30%. So if a company that's doing a few $1 million a year, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars being added to their top line. Yeah. So we have a way that we're doing that, the strategy that we developed with our cabins. But now that that's growing, we have 1,700 listings there. By the end of this year, we'll probably be about 4,000-ish listings. We developed this model that is bringing incredible value to people, but also lots of profit to us. So next year, we're going to be in a better position to start buying more hotels and getting better financing. So that's our long approach to developing out Freewyld, so we can control the entire thing ourselves.